of elite level game. I, of course, am your co-host, Donovan Sharpe. Coach EO will be joining us here shortly. He's getting set up. He's getting set up right now. Of elite level game. I, of course, am your there we go. Had to turn off the other sound. There we go. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, so Coach EO, Everett Overton, will be joining us a little bit later to discuss. We will be opening up the phone lines a little bit later, and we'll actually be opening them up shortly. What we're going to do is we're going to ask you, when you guys call in, we want to know what's the most important ability she must have for you. And so that obviously is in line with tonight's topic. The 9 most important abilities a woman must have if she wants to be in the running for a long-term relationship of consequence with a man of high value, high caliber, etc., etc. A lot of guys out there have a laundry list of things, and she's got to look like this, and she's got to do that, but they're living at home with their mamas in her basement. Listen, man, if you're not a high status, you don't even have to be high status. If you're not a high value or working towards being high value, then you have no business having a laundry list of anything. And it's the same with women. Women steady squawking about they need a man with 6-pack abs, 6 figures, 6-foot dick, who's loyal, funny, good looking, etc., etc. But they're 320 pounds with 3 kids by 4 different niggas. The reason why it's 4 instead of 3 is because they don't know if DeAndre is the son or is the father of DeAndre Jr. They're supposed to be making an appearance on the Maury Povich show. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started while we wait on Coach EO. He's setting up right now. So he should be in here very, 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 very shortly. Thank you guys very, very much for joining us tonight. I always look forward to these shows with EO, not only because I get to bounce ideas off of him and we get to sort of, riff off each other. I enjoy talking to you, man. I enjoy talking to you guys. I love interacting with my audience. That is by far and away, to me, being Donovan Sharpe, that's the most rewarding thing for me. The best part of my job, the best part of what I do is, is being able to talk to you guys. Oh, I see Coach EO is in here now. All right, EO, can you hear me? The best part of my job. EO, do you read me? Do you read me? I don't think EO can hear me yet. Coach EO?
I cannot hear you. Actually, I don't even see you. I see your avatar.
Shoot. My fault. My bad. I forgot. It would help if I.
There you are.
Help if I.
Now I see you.
Yeah.
Now I see you.
Yeah. It would help if I unmuted.
You know what? Let me just do something on my device here. I think it's on my end. I can't hear you. I see you now, though.
Okay. Very good. Very good. All right. So while we get that all squared away and taken care of. And StreamYard is funny like that. At any rate, so what I'll do, guys, and like I said, the numbers actually. You can hear me? Okay, perfect. Very good. How you doing, man? Sir.
Hey, good to see you, man. Good to be back. I do want to say something real quick. Congratulations. I know you hit another milestone with your channel.
Oh, yes.
And so I just wanted to celebrate that with you real quick. Shout out to you, man. Nice milestone there.
Thank you. Listen, man, I thought it would never get here, the way things were going, dude. But I forged forward, and here we are. So, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the shout out very much. What's it now? What are your subscriber counts looking like at this point?
Getting up there, man. Like I said, I hit an algorithm after 4 years being on here, and I'm getting up there now. And we're growing every day. So getting up there though.
Good stuff, man. Subscribe to Coach EO's channel. Just look up Everett Overton, Coach Everett Overton. Also, guys, subscribe to my second YouTube channel. I've now re-outfitted it. It is called Donovan Sharpe, etc. Donovan Sharpe, etc. is just going to be a lifestyle channel. That's where I broadcast my workouts. That's where I broadcast my shaving tutorials and hair stuff and all that. I actually did a live stream last night right when I got out of the shower called Why You're Probably Not Getting Laid at Night. And the reason a lot of guys don't get laid at night is because they don't take grooming seriously at night. Like at the end of the night, guys are horny, you want to smash your wives, your girlfriends, whatever, but you don't take a shower, right? You've got ass paste, your pubes aren't where they need to be, and you smell like the day. Dude, take a 10-minute shower, quick 5-10-minute shower. You don't even have to take a lot of time. It takes 10 minutes. Get your beard right. Listen, you don't have to prepare it. You don't have to be as tight as EO, right? But make sure it's presentable. Spray on, put on some deodorant, 2-3 spritzes of, your or her favorite cologne. You don't have to smell like a Macy's, but just put some effort into being presentable. Moisturize your skin. Listen, proper grooming habits will drastically increase the odds of you getting laid at the end of the night. What are your thoughts about that, man?
Yeah, man, I'm a big advocate of that, and I'm actually subscribed to that. I just wanted to make sure I was, but I have been subscribed to that channel. And guys, you can find me at Coach EO. That's what the channel is, Coach EO. That's where you can find me. But yeah, man, I'm a big advocate of. See, a lot of guys think, well, that's not manly to keep yourself maintained. And look, you could be a construction worker. You could be a man that works with your hands. Just go home and bathe and look presentable and, smell good. I mean, you really don't even want to do that just for the woman. You want to do that for yourself. Right. I have fragrances that I wear to bed at night that are from the 80s. What? And I do it for me. I mean, I have all the current stuff too, but I like to wear 80s fragrances to bed. Something about that era, just a very manly, masculine, green, spicy fragrances. I wear those to bed. They make me relax. So I do it. I'm wearing Drakkar to bed.
Oh, gotcha. Just when I thought I was giving y'all some next level game, EO's like, yo, I've been doing this forever, man. Like, where y'all at?
Yeah, well, I always say do it for you, but have your woman in mind.
Absolutely. Okay, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. Actually, I practice what I preach. Aunt Flo is visiting Devin. I wasn't getting laid last night yet. I made sure I was taken care of, and, it is what it is. So, but yeah, listen, good to have you in here tonight, man. This is going to be a really, really, really good show. And so let me start off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start off talking. I'm going to set this up. We're going to talk about the 9 most important abilities a woman has to have to qualify, at least pre-qualify, to be potentially in a long-term relationship with a guy like you. In professional sports, it is often said that the best ability is availability. If you're a player who gets injured a lot, doesn't matter how talented you are, doesn't matter if your completion percentage is 75, doesn't matter if you run a 4.2 40, doesn't matter if you had 5 sacks the game before, none of that matters if you are unable to play. And we in Philly here are very familiar with that, who had a superstar player who was often hurt in the form of Carson Wentz, who is now hurt again in Indianapolis. Anyway, over the last 10 years or so, NFL teams are starting to now evaluate the intangibles, what a player's attitude is like, what he's like upstairs. Is he crazy? Does he love football? Does he have a chip on his shoulder? Is he lazy? Is he entitled? The Cleveland Browns and Miami Dolphins notwithstanding, and really lately, actually, I really can't use that because they're both actually pretty good. That's pretty standard. All teams can see and measure our speed. They can measure length. They can measure strength. They can see all the football acumen. It's easy to evaluate player X's tangibles and determine whether or not he has the potential to make your roster. But the teams that have the most success are teams that are able to accurately evaluate the intangibles and then cultivate that player to be the best he can be on the field. He might be the fastest guy in the draft, okay? But if he has a drinking problem or he does drugs, probably not going to last too long in the league. What comes to mind immediately? Former Detroit Lions wide receiver Charles Rogers and Justin Blackmon, who used to play for the Jaguars. They come to mind immediately. Charles Rogers was the second overall pick way back in 2003, but because of his hard living off the field, his career only lasted 3 years. And oh by the way, he died at 38 years old. That actually just came to mind. Listen, a guy might have a rocket arm and all of the athletic ability, but if he does not have good work ethic, he'll never have the ability to read NFL defenses. If he has a bad attitude, he's going to be a bad quarterback and a teammate. Ryan Leaf and Jeff George come to mind immediately. They're at the top.
Jay Cutler was there too. He had a cannon of an arm, but he didn't have the heart for it.
He did not have the heart. He looked like a kid who was told to go upstairs and do his homework without dinner. Like he always looked like this. Well, guess what, gentlemen? It is the same with women. Okay? It is very easy for us as men to evaluate a woman's physical attractiveness, right? We look at her and we decide in just a few seconds whether or not we want to fuck her. If she's in good shape, if she has ample breasts, if she has a shapely ass, a flat stomach, we want to fuck her. All men are able to evaluate the tangibles that any given woman has or doesn't have, standard operating procedure. But the men who have the ability to accurately evaluate the intangibles, okay, those things that a woman does or doesn't have, those are the men who are the most successful with women without getting got. Okay, these are the guys who rarely get burned, the guys who suffer very little emotional or financial setbacks as a result of a bad relationship with a woman, if at all. These are the guys who are able to correctly judge a woman, decide on whether or not he wants to continue with her, and then further cultivate good habits while mitigating her bad habits so that she can be the best woman she can be. And it begins and ends with the most important abilities a woman has. A woman has to have to be considered as a potential training candidate for this style relationship. And I want to make this distinction, guys, and I think you'll agree with this, EO. I want to make sure I drive this distinction home. These abilities are what you're looking for in a woman to train for a relationship. Not the kind of, and I'm talking about a red pill relationship, not the kind of relationship most people have where cheating and bad behavior are rampant. If you're looking for a woman who's going to walk all over you, fuck guys behind your back, and make your life miserable, you're in the wrong place, okay? Listen, go watch Marnie Kinry's or the Wing Girl bullshit, or any other female dating coach that leads men to the slaughter with their shitty advice. But if you are looking for advice on how to properly evaluate a woman who will love, respect, obey, and submit to you, I'm going to give you guys 9 of the most important abilities a woman should have to be in the running to be trained for a long-term girlfriend. EO, what are your initial thoughts on that?
Yeah, I completely agree. I always use football analogies also when I'm doing my live streams. I actually did compile a list here too. Maybe some things I'll mention. Just some they're in no order of importance because they're all important.
Okay.
But I actually have about 12, but I can shrink it down. But these are really important to me, being a 41-year-old man. Okay. Sex is not on this list for me. Okay. Because to me, and how I coach men is that you got to get that out of your system. In your 20s, that's going to be very high priority for you. Of course. Unless you can discipline it, but it's still going to be a high priority. It's part of your biology. But as you progress into manhood and you get into your 30s, it should still be important, but it shouldn't be at the top, at least according to how I teach. So it's not on my list, but there's some other really, really great things on my list here.
Let's hear it, man.
Okay, so honorable mention. Well, I'll say this first. She has to adhere to coaching. Yes. Okay, she has to, and by coaching, I'll also put checking. Okay, checking and coaching go into the same category. So when you check her, okay, you are actually coaching her. So I want to say that the second you stop her when she says or does something that goes against maybe what will be profitable for the two of you, then now there's a coaching opportunity here. So you say, hey, listen, you just did this, okay? We can't do that again, and here's why. Okay. Now you tell her what happened and why, and then now you watch her reaction. If she rolls her eyes, if she's got a bad attitude, or if she actually says, I'm sorry, Okay, I want you guys to be on the lookout for that. I'm sorry. If a woman is telling you I'm sorry and she's listening to you, then she's coachable. If she's not saying sorry and she has a bad look on her face and she's rolling her eyes or she comes up with excuses, then she's most likely not coachable.
Okay.
So I will start with that. It's number one before we get into anything.
No, listen, here's the thing. I'm actually going to let you lead off because I have a feeling that a lot of my 9 overlap with your 12. So your number one thing is coachability. So guess what? I guess mine in conjunction with yours is trainability and teachability. And yes, I want to make this distinction. This is just what EO said. He said coachability. I'm saying trainability. I think they're one and the same. A woman who isn't trainable, a woman who is not coachable, is a woman who is either single all the time or she's dating guys she's not really interested in. Okay? And dudes wonder why women cheat so much. Well, 2 of those reasons is that number 1, most girls are not coachable or trainable. And number 2, most men do not know how to train them. Gentlemen, women need to be trained because they are raised with bad habits. Habits that are conducive to slutty behavior. Social media is something that needs to be trained and coached out of them. Showing cleavage when they're not with you, something that needs to be coached out of them. Checking in periodically is something they need to be trained to do. And if you're looking for a guide, by the way, on how to train women, go to donovansharpe.com/courses and get your hands on my 5-part 7-hour audio course, How to Build a Quality Woman from the Ground Up. Specifically, Chapter 2 takes you from start to finish in terms of training your woman. It is a solid hour and a half of rock solid red pill gold, so definitely check that out. The bottom line here is that a woman who isn't trainable is a woman that a man of value is not going to commit to. Also, you said coachability, and I think along with that goes teachability. Now, and I want to get your thoughts on this, EO. Now, in my mind, this is a little bit different from trainability. Training a woman means training behaviors in or out of her. A woman who is teachable, that is a woman who is willing to open her mind and accept new ideas about life and relationships, as in acknowledging the fact that successful relationships aren't 50-50, understanding that men and women aren't equal, and so on and so forth. Dealing with a hard-headed bitch who simply cannot wrap her mind around the fact that you are the leader and she is the follower, that's a pain in the ass, guys. She needs to be taught that a man makes all the important decisions. She needs to be taught that earning trust isn't a one-time thing. She needs to be taught that she has to earn your trust each and every day, and that the reset button is hit every day. She needs to be teachable in this regard. So if a woman is going to be set in her ways, if she's not going to fall in line with the way you run your ship, she's not going to make a very good significant other, and period. What are your thoughts on that, man?
I completely agree. I will tell guys this. If she's not used to being under a man's leadership, she may resist it a bit in the beginning. Okay, so in the beginning, I want you guys to be prepared. If she, I don't want to say shows signs of attitude, but if there's a little bit of resistance and she's taking a minute to kind of get it, it's of course your decision as a businessman and as a coach if you want to continue. But that's what preseason is for. Preseason is to give people. I like that. Yeah, that's what preseason is for. We give them the opportunity to
work out get on the playbook.
Get on the field, learn the playbook, get your route right. We're not going to fucking, cut you. If you drop a pass, we're not going to cut you, but what we're going to do is recoach you and tell you, hey, you cut too early. The timing was off. Your hands were here when they should have been there. This is what being a man is. It's coaching your woman, it's coaching your associates, it's coaching everybody really. So I want to tell you guys is that be a little patient. Especially if the woman is showing high interest in you, but she's having a difficult time adhering. Let her run some more routes, throw her some more ground ball, hit her with some more ground balls, see if she doesn't bobble the next one, and be a little bit more patient. But if you start to see she's not getting it, this is becoming more trouble than I need, then you need to cut her.
Dude, I tell you what, dude, that is the perfect analogy. I think the only other analogy. Hold on.
The Bears are playing right now too. Shout out to them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? And let me see if I could maybe. So what EO said there was very important. You have to be patient. You cannot expect. You guys to understand this. You cannot expect a woman to, number one, adhere to the training right off the bat. Just like EO said, there's going to be some growing pains. She's not used to being. She's not used to being under a man's leadership. in any part of her life. Her parents, at work, her friends, nobody. So you do have to give her a grace period to sort of get used to it. Now, there are some cases where a girl is willing to learn, but for whatever reason, she's just having a little bit of trouble. If you can recognize that she is giving a genuine effort and she makes honest mistakes because this is something she's not used to doing, no problem at all. You can be patient. Don't be meathead red pill guy. As soon as she screws up one time, she's gone. You can't expect a woman to be a perfect woman for you if you haven't coached her for that long. Nobody comes to the NFL draft. Nobody gets drafted and wins every single game and then goes to the Super Bowl and wins it. No, you have to be coached up. Hell, even Peyton Manning, his first year, threw 13 touchdowns, 30 something interceptions. He's not one of the greatest quarterbacks in history. So you do have to be patient. I would actually add baseball into the mix. You do not call her up to the majors until you feel she's ready. Start her out in single A, right? In single A, listen, you're still dealing with top flight baseball players. Single A, you're getting your feet under you. Double A, the guys start throwing harder, the pitchers have more than 2 pitches, and everybody plays defense. Triple A, at Triple A, it's fight or flight. If you can't make it in Triple A, you're going to be out of the league. But guess what? If she dominates in Triple A, then you can call her up to the majors. Now, it is possible that when she gets to the majors, maybe after year 2 or 3. Not year 2 or 3, but after maybe month 2 or 3, maybe maybe she gets hurt. Maybe your fastball's not as dominant. Maybe she's not using her cutter. No problem. Send her down to AAA Scranton, work out the kinks, and when you feel she's ready, then you bring her back up. But I think what EO said, the most important thing you said was patience. You cannot expect women to just be perfect out of the gate. 100% agreement on that.
Yeah. Especially if remember, you're a coach. You're coaching yourself constantly every day. You're hitting the reset button on you too. Yes. I love that part. Remember, you're hitting it on you. You're hitting it on her. And it's continual. It never stops. Yes. So, if you're going to be a strong masculine man that's going to build quality relationships, you have to have some patience. Especially if you have a tough program, man. If it's a tough program, you got to give people time to adhere and adjust. Otherwise you're firing everybody and no one wants to work for you and you're going to be sitting bitter. You're like, damn, I got rid of everybody. All you needed was a little bit of patience and maybe learn how to coach them in a certain way. See, every woman is different based on their upbringing too. Absolutely. So she might adhere to a certain style of coaching where the other you got to be a little bit different. So, it's your responsibility as the man and the coach to learn that personality type and see, okay, she responded well to that style of coaching. Yes. So I'm going to stick with that. If she doesn't respond well to something you said, then back off on that style and come up with another one.
Dude, 100% correct. Some players respond well to negative reinforcement, right? Dude, who are you throwing to? You know what I'm saying? My sister reads defenses better than that. But then others, not so much, right? Others might, oh my God, if his sister come in. No, others you have to say, hey, look, next time, maybe try to look off the linebacker before you release the pass. Make sure you're staring down the middle of the field so that you can look off that linebacker and then fire the football. And it is your job as a man to recognize what kind of coaching your woman responds best to. And you also have to recognize this. And I know this seems like a lot, but the more you do this, the more it becomes second nature. Women need to be coached in different ways depending on the different situations. Now, there are certain, and listen, you can ask Devin this. My program is not easy at all. It is extremely hard. There's some areas where I have to coach her really hard, like, yo, you need to cut that shit out right now. Then there are other areas where I'm like, hey, listen, I understood you screwed up. No problem. Here's where I fell short. I should have maybe made things clearer. Maybe I should have read the play louder, whatever the case may be. So you have to recognize. So you can't coach your woman the same all the time. Sometimes you have to be a little more stern. Sometimes you can be a little bit more understanding.
Yes, that's absolutely right. So even sometimes you don't tell her thank you.
Yes.
If you notice that, I remember one time, I'll never forget this, a woman told me to not tell her thank you. She did something for me and all I said was thank you. And she told me, please don't tell me thank you. I'm supposed to be doing this. Just stay on your throne. This is not even a joke. The woman told me to stay on my throne, to not even thank her. So she didn't want me to thank her. Then there's other women, if you say thank you, she really appreciates it.
Absolutely.
So you got to be be able to kind of gauge what works for the woman in your life, and then tread accordingly. So
not only that, what you have to understand, see, you and I, EO, we think of this as a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what, gentlemen? Women think of it the same way. They just don't know that they do.
That's true.
We as businessmen, we need a return on our investment. This is why we coach women the way we do. Well, guess what? Mm-hmm. Women also need a return on their investment. They're not going to they're not going to submit and help a man if they're not getting anything in return. It's a value exchange. Sometimes it's a value loaded exchange, and they've got to bring a little bit more, but it is a value exchange. It is a value exchange nonetheless. And I've actually mentioned this on this show before. When it comes to rewarding and punishing verbally, you always punish. You always punish and reprimand her 100% of the time she screws up. When she does something right, thank her maybe 40 to 50% of the time. Now, if she cooks you a bomb-ass 7-course meal, don't just not say nothing. By the same token, don't make a grandiose parade out of it either. If she goes and gets you a bottle of water from the fridge, say, yeah, thanks, babe, appreciate that. And most of the time, you don't even have to say thanks for that. Do not thank your woman for shit that she should be doing anyway. And that's probably what that woman was probably trying to tell you. Listen, this is what I signed up for. And here's another thing, EO. Even though women do need that positive verbal reinforcement, at the end of the day, they don't really need it when you think about it. The way I thank my woman is allowing her to be with me, right?
Yes.
Now, she needs that verbal reinforcement, but if I don't thank her 100% of the time, she doesn't get upset because guess what? She's got 2 Coach bags, 2 Michael Kors bags, and $1,000 heels, and she doesn't have to leave the house all day. We've got a fully stocked gym down there. I pay all the bills. She lives a very posh lifestyle. That's the way I thank her.
Yeah. You know what? How I interpreted that what that woman told me at that time was maybe she was dating men in the past that thanked her too much, and she had some sort of flashback, like, please don't be like them. And all I was doing was thanking you for something I had you do for me. So it was more about maybe her past or whatever. So once I saw that, though, I said, oh, okay, you don't want to thank you? No problem. Because, I don't have to thank you for shit. Nope. So, but it was just like a courtesy that I extended her because I wanted to, not because I felt she needed it. But yeah, you also have to kind of learn a woman's past too, like not by asking, tell me about your ex-boyfriend, but but you learn a woman's past just by her own behavior too. Like you can watch what she's able to do, and that'll tell you if she's been with a man that had a game. If she doesn't know how to do shit, she wasn't with a man that had game, that had a system that was able to be.
I know
that was coaching.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's it. So you could tell if a woman's ever been with a real man because you can watch her what she's doing. Like, for example, some of these older women, although how we are with older women, but if a woman was married to a man, let's say 13 years, let's say she got married at 22, she was married for 13 years, they went through a divorce for whatever reason, infidelity, we'll just say that. She's now 37, but she spent 13 years serving a man. Yeah. She was cooking, cleaning, supporting him, and then she invites you over and she makes you a very nice meal. And as she's making it, you're kind of watching like how things are set up in her household. Like what did her fridge look like?
Yes.
What's the stove look like? The inside of the microwave. So you're kind of like watching, like, okay, this woman has done this before. So that's a woman that you might want to consider having on your team. So I just want to say, versus a young woman, you guys a lot of men want really young women.
Yeah,
but this motherfucker don't know how to do shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking, she don't even know how to clean her vagina yet. Right. Quite frankly, guys like us, we tell women how to clean their vaginas. Like, hey, I'm gonna need you to clean your vagina from front to back, not the other way. But you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Dev tells me I was taught from front to back. Okay. So what is your next? Oh, shout out to Mr. J with the $5 super chat. So what is your next ability on your list?
Okay. So I jotted some things down that came to mind. Okay. Soft spoken.
Ooh, I like
soft spoken. Men love a soft-spoken woman. Okay, if she calls you, hey babe, when she responds to you or says something to you, she has to say it in a very soft, feminine, delicate way. And women, you will understand that you could have a lot of what you want from a man if you just talk to him right. So if you got a bad attitude, your head is jerking, you're combating everything, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. You're gonna be by yourself, women. So I really cannot overemphasize the importance of a woman having a soft demeanor and a soft tone to her voice when she speaks.
Okay, very good. This is one thing that I liked about Dev. One thing that I liked about her is that she's an introvert, and she's very soft spoken, and it's so cute when when Olivia comes over. This is her niece, and when Dev tries to discipline her and tries to get loud with her, like, it's cute because it doesn't really sound like it's but I agree with you 100%, and this is interesting. Do you know how most women, when they wake up there, because Dev and I, we sleep in the same bed. Most women, when they wake up their man, they're like, hey, wake up. That's not good or bad. Devin wakes me up by simply rubbing my arm until I wake up. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess it's time. Or if I take a nap, or if my alarm goes off and I can't hear it, she just rubs my arm. She's not abrasive at all. Okay, so I guess I'll go to the next thing on my list. Is the next ability is, and we're going to open up the phone lines here in about 15 minutes, guys. My next ability is availability. I'm going to tell you something right now. And for the three women watching this, you guys got to listen to this. Men of value, we don't want to date girls who are always busy. Okay? Yes, I guess it is good for a woman to have her job. It's good for her to have a healthy social life free of slutty friends who negatively influence her and guys who are trying to get in their draws all the time. It's good for her to have productive hobbies, and it is good for her not to be, sitting home every night spending hours on Facebook or Instagram or Tinder swiping right for cock all night. But there are too many girls out here who are just too fucking busy. They're never home. They're always out of town. They're always doing something every night, every day, all weekend. That's not a bad thing as far as she's concerned. But a woman like this has neither the time nor availability to meet your needs as a man. I am not going to commit to a woman who's never around. And select men almost never do. If I want to go out to dinner or go on a weekend getaway, I need to know my girl is going to be available. I'm not trying to be with a chick whose schedule is always full. I'm not trying to be with a chick I got to schedule shit with because she's always fucking busy. What are your thoughts on availability?
It's huge. It was actually at the top of my list too. Was ready for a man. Okay, so you have to be ready. That's what it says here. Ready for a man. So if you're not, I think women think it's cute to like tell men like, oh, I'm going to be out of town and I'm going to Fiji and then we're going to Jamaica on the way back. Oh, like I think they think that that's like building value for them, but actually you're getting disqualified.
Women assume that what makes us attractive to them also makes us attracted to them.
Yes,
or they're attracted to us. That's why they do that.
It's completely wrong. If I ever met a woman that was like, oh, I'm traveling, I'm going to Paris, I'm like, hey, check this out. It doesn't look like it's going to work. When you get back in town, you want to hit me up. Maybe we can make something happen. And then like a simp will wait on her. A simp will be like, hey, send me pictures when you're in the Dominican. Send me pictures. It's like, availability is huge. You have to be ready for a man like us, especially us. Time is limited.
God, yes.
We're not going to be sitting around waiting for people that are liabilities. So if you can prove that you're available and you're an asset, we'd be happy to give you an opportunity. But women that think it's cute to be unavailable, out all the time, vacationing all the time, trust me, you're just going to age.
Yep.
And then you're going to lose options as you age.
Okay, so what is your next ability on your list?
Yes. So the next thing I have is helpful, which kind of it ties into availability. And I put here whatever you need her to do.
Good.
So, and that goes back to availability. So helpful. So, and that she doesn't have an argument about it. Like, hey, I need you to go and get food. I'm busy right now. Go get Chipotle. Sure. Would you like it the way you normally like it? Double chicken, rice, pinto beans, whatever. Okay. And you're like,
goddamn.
Yes. So it's like, don't forget the guacamole and chips. And then, and then on top of it, she comes back with maybe a case of water and some and a few other things that you're out of. So it's really important that the woman is helpful to you. And real quick, so I don't have to mention this later, she has to learn you. That's part of learning you.
Yes.
And so I put, she has to learn you to a point where you don't have to repeat yourself anymore. So I have this line, men should tell women this, that you've been in relationships with. Look, you're not new anymore. You're not new. So these are things that you should have learned, and I shouldn't have to repeat myself. You're not new here. So so those are two big things for me: is helpful, and I'm talking whatever you need. Hey, I need you to run and drop this envelope off at this office.
Yes.
It's already sealed. Just drop it off. Sure. Anything else? She brings you back a coffee. Maybe you don't even have to ask her to do that. She brings you back a Red Bull. I know you and Kevin Samuels like Red Bulls. So maybe she brings back some Red Bulls. So it's like she's got to be helpful. She's got to be available, which that ties into it. And she has to make it a huge goal to learn you, to find out what's important to you, even your habits, and accommodate you. Yes.
This is one of Devin's, this is one of her strengths. Is she is very good. She's very attentive, and she's very good at anticipating my needs. I can't remember the last time I had to give her an extensive list for the grocery store. I'm a man. I eat all the same things. I've given up sugar, but to assuage my sugar craving, I eat Honey Nut Cheerios. I eat a bowl every couple of days. She knows when she goes grocery shopping or she shops on Instacart, I want steaks, I want burgers, I want Honey Nut Cheerios, I want cheddar cheese, I want pepperoni, I want sugar-free Red Bull, and lots of water. Every once in a while, there might be something ancillary on there that I might need, but Devin knows me, dude. And again, just like you said, she's been with me long enough to the point where she knows better. She knows exactly what I want all the time. I cannot tell you how much easier this makes your life. A woman who pays enough attention to you and cares enough to learn who you are, that is definitely a woman that has potential for a long-term relationship, for sure.
And Donovan, one other thing I want to tell these guys listening, because they may not understand like how we get to that point. Coaching again. So let's say you ask her, I'm going to need you to bring me some hazelnut creamer. Okay. But let's say she accidentally brings you sugar-free creamer, and you don't want sugar-free. Okay. You got to point that out. You got to say, hey, come here. I got to show you something. You see this green label on here that says sugar-free? Did you not see that? Okay, don't ever bring me sugar-free again. Okay, it's got to be regular creamer.
Real talk.
If she brings 2% milk and you want skim, you can't just let that go.
No.
Okay, you gotta tell her like, hey, you got 2%. Plus the date is approaching. This is about to be expired. Did you pick it from the back? So, I mean, everything has to be coached by you. Yes. And look, women ain't picking. I mean, I don't know if she knows to pick it from the back. You know, like I pick it from the back just in case it sat out all day and they just put it back on the shelf. Hell yeah. So it's like, you know, like these are things that men have to know, and then you have to coach her. Again, don't get mad. Maybe you could be a little bit cocky, but say, hey, listen, I need you to pick it from the back. This milk is about to expire. You need to be picking this from the back. Also, you didn't get the right one. I told you what to get. Maybe you were in a rush. Slow down.
There you go.
In a rush. I'm going to send you back.
That is coaching right there. Maybe you were in a rush. Maybe you're in a hurry. Or I like that. I like how you didn't just put it on her. Yeah, I forgot one thing. And Dev, this is why Dev is good. Yes, cup noodles. I have those are my guilty pleasures. My guilty pleasures are Honey Nut Cheerios and cup noodles. The rest of the day, I just eat meat. Ice Dragon Kid said zebra cakes. Devin should know that if I ask her for zebra cakes, she needs to tell me no. She needs to tell me no fucking zebra cakes. I actually had to get on her a couple weeks back. She kept bringing carbs into the house. I was like, Devin, quit bringing carbs in the house. Like, she bought like this box of cookies, and I'm like, what are you doing? And so when Olivia came over, we're like, Olivia, take this upstairs. I don't want to see it. I don't want to smell it. I don't want to hear it. But now Devin's guilty pleasure, her two favorite foods, incidentally enough, are fried chicken and Skittles. She doesn't really eat them that often, but she loves her some Skittles. I'm gonna tell you what.
Sure.
Okay, so the next one on my list is compatibility. Now, a lot of people seem to think that compatibility means having a lot in common with your woman. They think that if you don't like the same things or have the same personality traits or have the same religion or political views, that the relationship is doomed to fail. That's just not true. Being compatible with someone, all it means is that you get along. That's it. I know some people who are the same in every way and they can't stand each other. And of course, you know, familiarity, as they say, breeds contempt. A common, and I know you've heard this before, EO, but a common relationship axiom is that opposites attract. This is 1,000% true. And the reason for this is that one personality on one end of the spectrum perfectly complements the other personality on the opposite end. Relationships need polarity, not parallelism. So long as you get along with a woman, you're compatible with her. This means you're not fighting and bickering about dumb shit all the time. This means that when you go out, you have a great time together. This means you genuinely enjoy each other's company. The perfect example, and I use this all the time, is me and Dev. Me and Devin EO are nothing alike. I'm high energy and intense. She's laid back and easygoing. I have an outgoing, gregarious personality. She is very introverted. I am extremely regimented in discipline. She is extremely not. I have a short temper and I'm very impatient. She never flies off the handle and she's incredibly patient. I am a leader, right? And I have a take charge persona. She's more of a follower who falls in. Devin and I could not be any more different, but we get along well. We have a good time together. She helps calm me down when I start to lose my temper. I help her, on the other end, exercise discipline and consistency. We work well together because we're compatible, and it has nothing to do with what we do or do not have in common. If you're not compatible with a woman, she's going to end up being a lot more trouble than she's worth. What are your thoughts on compatibility in your opinion?
Love it, man. Love it. Let me ask you a question. Could you imagine if you were with a woman who were just like you? You'd be in prison.
Oh, my God.
You'd be in prison, brother.
Oh, my God. Dude,
you would be in jail.
Oh, my God. Dude, I'd be black eyes and black. Oh, yeah. Jesus, fuck.
So yeah, I mean, I can't, yes, and I'd rather be with somebody who's kind of an opposite of me.
Yeah.
Because there's opportunity to learn something there too. I mean, if you're with people that are just like you, I know people like that only do business with people that think just like them. Yeah. And I personally like an environment where there's a little diversity. So I think for one, you can learn from each other more. I mean, look, there's stuff I guarantee that you learn from Devin.
Of course.
And even SNO, she's my girl. I learned things from her. She's also a psychologist. She works with children. They're kind of both psychologists. Yeah, she's a psychologist. So we can have deep conversations about certain disorders, just human behavior. So although we share that in common, she also tells me all the time, I learn a lot from you that I didn't even learn in school. Just listening to you talk, I learn more from you. So it is important to have that opposite, and at the same time have a few minor things in common. For example, you both like horror movies, right? The new Halloween's coming out in October. That should be kind of a big shindig. Hey, the new Halloween. So have those. Look for minor things to have in common. But when it comes to the big things, it's like if you're the leader, have a passive woman. Don't have a woman that's challenging every decision you make. So like you said, Devin, soft-spoken, you're high energy. You're the leader, she follows your lead. You got to have it this way. But, in the minor stuff, both of you like pepperoni on your pizza. Does it have to be that way? No, but it can help, the minor things.
No, listen, I agree with you 100%. And a few things that Dev and I do have in common is, like, we watch a lot of the same, we like a lot of the same things on TV. You said horror movies. Dude, we both love horror movies. We like horror movies that have, like, religion involved with, like, priests and demons and all that other kind of stuff.
Holy water.
Oh, God, dude, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how terrible it is. We have to watch it. We also like watching terrible movies just so that we can kind of laugh at it. What else do we have in common? We both love animals, right? We got a whole bunch of animals. We're getting another cat. So, on a lower level, these are the things that actually make life a little bit more pleasant. This isn't to say, just like you said, that you absolutely have to have nothing in common, but I agree with you 100%. The little things really it's not necessary, but it does make life a little bit more enjoyable.
Yeah, like if you guys are traveling and let's say both of you like 80s music, maybe you put on the 80s station and the both of you are having a fun ride. But if you're like, oh, I hate 80s music and she does, I mean, it can be a little conflicting. So the minor things, try to have those things in common, but the big things, I would say there should be some contrast.
Good stuff. What is the next one on your list?
Yes, sir. Number 5, she has to ask for your permission to do things.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Here we go.
I said this during a relationship.
Hang on a second. Yes. There's a new Conjuring? Did you know there's a new Conjuring?
I did not know that, no.
Neither did I. I'm in. Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
Nice. No, you're good. I referenced this during an LTR episode that I'm doing, and I said the woman should ask you if she can do things.
Right.
So she should say, like Devin or even SNO, she does spray tan. So she's like, can I go spray tanning? Can I please go spray? Even Absolutely. Can I please go?
Yes.
She should say, like, may I please go spray tanning?
That's right.
And like then you might say, let's say Devin's looking too dark to your taste. Sure. So you're going to say, nah, you need to back off a couple days. You look too dark. Okay. Yeah, and she has to say, okay.
Right.
She has to say okay.
Actually, yeah.
And then, and so I think the woman should be asking you to do things. Okay. Can I buy this? Is this too expensive? Do I need this right now? Like, the woman really has to ask for your guidance.
Yes.
So it's like, do you think I need this? What do you think of this color? And no, I don't like it. I don't think you have enough blue in your wardrobe to buy a blue purse. I think you need to buy the tan.
That's right.
The more neutral color. And if you sell it right, and here's the thing, women are in their feelings a lot. So if you show logic and say, hey, you don't have a ton of blue, we're not going to go out and buy a bunch of Smurf shirts just to go with your new purse. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you have more neutral, so get the tan. And she's like, you're right, babe. You're right. I'll get the tan. So she needs to be asking your permission.
100%. Devin does not spend a penny without my permission. Hey, can I pay the electric bill? Can I pay the phone bill? Blah, 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 blah. That's one thing that and again, this was one thing that I had to coach her to do. The next one on the list, we're going to open up the phone lines here in about 5 minutes. The next one on my list is likability. Okay. Mm-hmm. A lot of you guys out here, you guys have girlfriends you simply do not like. You like fucking her. You like that she's hot. You like having a good looking girlfriend, but you don't really like her. The girl is either a bitch or she just has the kind of personality that not many people like. And newsflash, guys, most good-looking girls have shitty personalities. I mean, dude, even half-decent looking chicks have shitty personalities, especially girls who have been good-looking their entire lives. Guys, if you're going to spend time with a woman, if you're going to go places with her, if you're going to create memories with her, she's got to be likable, guys. No, I'm not talking about a doormat who bends over backwards to please everybody, because those kinds of girls cheat a lot, because men will sort of misconstrue her kindness and eagerness to please as sexual interest, and shit ends up going sideways quick. No, I'm talking about a woman who is easygoing, easy to talk to, and has a likable disposition. Girls who are unlikable are also hard to deal with around your friends and family. Listen, man, no guy wants to always have to be explaining why his girlfriend is being antisocial, or why his girlfriend is acting like a brat, or why his girl has resting bitch face all the time. That shit gets old real quick. And there's no reason to stop seeing your friends and family just because your woman has a shitty attitude. What are your thoughts on that, man?
Man, I love that last part, especially. Like, she's got to know, especially if you're bringing her somewhere with you and she's sitting there like being antisocial or whatever. It looks like people might think you hit her or something. Like, I'm like, hey, people are gonna think I abuse you, man. Like, you better fucking wake up. And so it's very, very important. Here's another thing that might be a little controversial, but okay. I think women need to be likable with women and not so likable with men. Ooh, like you'll see like men. You'll see some women, if you give them too much freedom, they're being a little too talkative with men. That could be really disrespectful. And what I mean by that is that could be misunderstood by the man. They're going to be looking at you like, yo, your woman talks to a lot of men here, man. Like, she's all over talking to all the men. Now, unless you've given her the assignment to talk to that man, there you go. I need you to go talk to Mr. Smith, because I want to close a deal with him. Go talk to him real quick. Yep. And you know exactly what to say because I've coached you up. That's different. But if she's walking around just talking to all the men, laughing with them, touching them on the shoulder, hey, that's a bad look. Your woman should be the most talkative with other women. Yes. And when she's around men, she should probably just keep herself composed and let you do most of the talking.
I swear to God, man, we got to be twins, man. And I've actually taken this next level. One thing, and you never stop adding things to coach or train your woman to do. I'm working Devin in now. Not that I ever really had a problem with this, but something that I'm really going to enact, especially when we start doing a little more traveling, is I'm going to give her instructions. Hey, listen, when you and I are out and about, when you speak, only I need to hear you, okay? I don't need anybody else to hear you except for me.
That's a good one.
Here's why I do this. Women, when they get around men they're attracted to, they start to talk a little louder. They start to become a little more demonstrative, right? And they're subconsciously doing this to get said guy's attention. Case in point, Devin and I, we went to Hawaii way back in 2016. This was during the training process. And we're sitting there having our breakfast, beautiful Pacific Ocean. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, she starts getting all demonstrative and talking loud. So, of course, now I think I know what's going on. So I turned around, and sitting right behind me is a dude who may as well be Thor, right? And so what I did is I looked at him, and then I looked back, and I think I might have told this story on this program before. I said, well, look, Dev, I said, if you really want to get his attention, you guys can swap phone numbers. We can swap rooms so we can go ahead and get this out of the way. Devin turns a brilliant shade of magenta, and she kept her voice down and her hands down the entire time. These are the edicts that you have to put in place because, again, women, and even though women do it subconsciously, they do it subconsciously, but they know what they're doing, right?
That's true.
They know when they're getting attention from other men, other people. Yes. So when we are out, her marching orders, when you speak in public, only I need to hear you. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I completely agree. And for the audience, like, the reason why I brought up this point was because it's a bad reflection on me as the man. Right. If your woman is around, just floating around this social butterfly, talking to everybody, people are going to look at me and fuck that. I'm one of the baddest coaches in the world. You're not going to embarrass me. So it's not really jealousy for me. It's respect. It's like, hey, when you're with me, I'm here, you're behind me, maybe off to the side right here. I'm going to do most of the talking. If I give you an instruction, or if I tell you, hey, there's Donovan over there, go say hi to Devin real quick. I need you. She's going to go over there and talk to she's going to say hello to you, of course, because there's respect. Right. And then she's going to address Devin, Devin. Right. And then I'm going to come over and talk to you, and that's how we're going to do this. There you go. There is no you're talking to the men and high-fiving men and all this shit. I see that too much. And a lot of people might think, okay, he's being too controlling. Hey, look, I'm the coach. I'm running this system the way I want to run it. You're not going to embarrass me. Because I've heard men, as a matter of fact, my own mother told me this. Like, we used to see men in the family not control their wives. Their wives are cussing at people, drinking too heavily, fucking getting drunk at parties. And my mom would even say, like, you know who I blame? The fucking husband. He doesn't know how to control her. That's another thing. If your woman's drunk, that's the bad reflection on you.
Worst.
So that's why I wanted to bring it up, because it all comes back to your individualized coaching. It's not so much the jealousy part for me. It's just like, are you demonstrating that you're a good coach or not?
Your woman's behavior is a direct reflection on your leadership skills. If your woman is out of pocket in public, listen, I don't blame the woman. She's doing what she is being allowed to do. Right. I put that 100% on the man. We're going to go ahead and open up the phone lines. And while I'm opening up the phone lines, I'm going to go ahead and get to the next one on my list. So the next ability on my list is affordability. Now, let me explain something here so you guys know where I'm coming from. Okay? A needy woman is not a bad thing. Let me say that again. A needy woman is not a bad thing. Women need men for many reasons. And if you're the kind of man who can meet those needs, you'll get along just fine. Now, that being said, a needy woman is not the same as a chick who's high maintenance, and just about every high maintenance bitch requires a substantial financial investment to be with her. Guys, this is terrible for a man's bottom line. Now, what do I mean bad for a man's bottom line? A woman who requires expensive dinner and drinks on your dime all the time, okay? A woman who wants you to send her a $200 bouquet to her job on Valentine's Day so that she can be the belle of the ball at work. A woman who does not understand the value of a dollar and makes suggestions without considering the financial implications. There are way too many women out here who say shit like, hey, let's fly down to San Diego for the weekend. It'll be fun. Well, of course it'll be fun for you. You don't have to pay for it, right? There's also a lot of women out here with expensive habits they can't afford, right? They got to wear the best shoes. They got to have the best clothes. They got to have the latest, greatest phone, all the latest tech gadgets. They got to eat at all the best restaurants and on and on and on. This is a woman who is not affordable. Yes, It is okay to spend a little extra coin to have a good time every so often, but your woman needs to be okay with staying in and watching a horror movie or doing something inexpensive like maybe bowling or riding go-karts. If a woman has expensive habits and expensive taste, you will go broke, and a woman is not even close to being worth going broke over. Your thoughts?
Completely agree. It should be to a point where your woman feels guilty if you buy her expensive things.
Right.
Now, I mean, I really mean that. I've had women in the past say, please don't buy me that. That's way too expensive. I'd rather you put that into your business or whatever, or, I don't need that. I have you. Like, your woman you should be the prize. It shouldn't be vacation destinations. Now, there is a time for that. And you plan for that, and you reward accordingly. Even me, I'll be honest with you, I never have to go out on a dinner date. I never have to. At this point in my life, I've seen enough places. I've done enough things. I've been to 5-star restaurants, 5-star hotels. I've been there, done that. But if my girl, she really wants to try a place out, and I want to reward her with that, then I will. So I'll make an exception for her, but it's only if she's earned it for me.
That's right.
It ain't gonna be just because it's Friday night and you want to get out because you want to be seen or you just got your hair done. Like, fuck that. I don't give a shit. So you know what I mean? Women want to, like, once they get their hair done, they want to go out and be seen by somebody. Right. Yeah. So it's not gonna be for that reason. It's gonna be because I deem that you deserve it. So yes, you need to be the main attraction. It should be your company, your leadership, your wisdom, the way you make her feel. It shouldn't be that she needs to be out all the time or getting expensive things for her to feel good when she's with you. The feeling should come from the man. The extras, this is like, what is it, whipping on the cake, occasionally.
Yeah, the icing on the cake, right. Okay, next on your list.
Yes. Okay. Now, we've talked about a few of these already, so I'm going to kind of go to one. This is important. She's willing to leave her friends and family for you.
Woo! Uh-oh! Oh, my God, you controlling misogynist!
Yes. Now, what I mean by that is, look, if she's got some quality friends, no, she doesn't need to leave them, okay? They can be part of her life, okay? But most women don't have quality friends, and they don't have quality family either.
Right.
There's a few exceptions here and there where, but it is so rare that you find a family that is huge, a big supporter of the man. Even with your alpha male personality type, to find a father and a mother that is okay with that, good luck.
Right.
So are they out there? Yeah, but it's so rare. It's just not going to happen. So the woman has to see you as the God in her life. I really do mean this. Like, you have to be like her new father.
Yep.
You have to be her pastor.
Yep.
You have to be everything to her, and she has to be willing. Look, again, if there's disruptions, if the friend is a disruption, if the friend is a whore, if the friend is newly divorced, hey, you better take your newly divorced ass and find a new friend, motherfucker, because don't be coming over here talking to my girl about going out and shit. We don't do that. I don't live that life. Now, if you live that life, again, it comes back to you. If your girl's wild, that you must be wild.
That's all you, bro.
Okay, yeah, you must be wild and don't know how to coach. You picked the wrong woman. So I will tell you, the woman has to be willing. I'm not saying she has to, because maybe she does have one productive friend that doesn't throw a monkey wrench in your program and supports her and supports you, okay? But you still got to evaluate. You still got to know what they're talking about. When she's on the phone, you should be listening. Like, what the fuck are they talking about in there? And I'm like, hey, if you can't do that, then you don't be in a relationship. So I really do mean this. She's got to be willing to leave her friends and family if they are disruptive.
Dude, I totally agree. Give me 1 second, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find, give me 2 seconds. I'm trying to find so when I first met Dev, she had a really good friend. We'll call her Kim. And Kim was, for whatever reason, and listen, when Dev met me and we started seeing each other, she was very excited to tell everyone, hey, like, I've met this man who is actually a man. He takes control. He does this. He does that. Yes. And this is no fault of Dev's, because she was excited to tell people, like, I found the guy, I found, what I believe to be the man of my dreams. Well, the drawback to that is that, especially when you tell your friends about this, her friend Kim didn't really always like me. I don't think she really ever came around. And so whenever Dev would ask him, hey, you know, want to come over and meet, well, my name's Alex. Want to come over and meet Alex? Nah, you know, me and my husband are doing something, or me and my husband, blah, 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 blah. And listen, Kim is in fantastic shape. She runs triathlons. I mean, she's married to a black man. So everything fit. And her husband is a big time sports fan. But for whatever reason, Kim would never come around. I told Dev, I said, listen, check this out, man. Like, I told you this when we first got together. Your friends aren't going to like me. She's like, no, just got to give her time. I said, no. I said, confront her on this. Ask her why she doesn't want to come around. Like, what is your problem with Alex? And finally, she sent her that text message, and I can't find it now. I can't find it now. I guess I'll have to pull it up. But basically, she told her everything that I suspected. She said, "Listen, Dev, I'm happy for your relationship, but it sounds like he is controlling. I don't even recognize the person I see, and this and that and the other." And I'm like, yeah, yes.
Thank God you don't. Thank God you don't recognize that bitch.
There you go. She said,
no offense, but you know what I mean. You know?
No, dude, totally. And she's like, listen, if you're not a girl who likes to wear high heels, then that's fine. He should accept that and this and that. I said, all right, Dev, well, there you have it. And deep down inside, Devin knew why Kim didn't want to come around, but she didn't want to bring herself to accept it, and because she was one of her best friends. And so, yeah, Dev says in the chat, I got more feminine and she didn't like it. Yeah, that's really what it was.
I think she was jealous. I think she was jealous that she found that Devin found a real man.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And that she probably can't land a real man or keep a real man. So she probably hangs out with simps and fucking beta males.
There you go.
And she was probably like, oh, I would never let a man conform me to his will like that.
Of course
but
not.
Truth be told is when you introduce a woman to a much healthier way, a less toxic way to live, it should be celebrated by the friends. And if it's not, they need to go.
Dude, I totally and 100% agree. And guys, this is where EO. This is what EO is talking about. Is your friends? It looks like we've got a caller on the line. Her friends. Most of the time, they're not going to like the way you run the relationship. So, and so you tell your woman, listen, you can tell your friends whatever you want. Just understand that they're not going to approve of this. And so from all the way back then, dude, Dev is living the life. Dude, she works from home. Dude, she has, oh my God, like she's happier, she's healthier. She can travel whenever she wants. All of these things because I was toxic and controlling, and I don't recognize my friend anymore. You're goddamn right you don't recognize her anymore because I got a hold to her. So I agree with you 100%. She's got to be willing to leave her friends and family behind, especially if they're a bad influence.
Yes.
Okay.
You said we have a call.
Yeah, Dev is she's screening that right now, so I'll wait until they're done with that. Let me go ahead and go to my the next thing on my list, and I think you'll agree with this one. By the way, shout out to Uncle Guns with the $15 super chat. He says, elite as it gets. This information sounds uncommon to some, but if you get it, you get it. It makes a relationship much more fulfilling. Hundreds watching. Let's see how many we can get to drop a $5.
You know, I was just going to say that this is information that everybody should super chat for. You're not hearing this on the internet to this extent. It's not that I am plugging, saying you have to, but you're hearing information that took Donovan 40 plus years to learn, and me as well.
Right.
And this is going to be very helpful to you in the long run. So you guys should pay homage to that.
Absolutely. So the next thing, and we'll get to, so Blackmail Media is on the phone. Okay. So the next thing, and I think you'll agree with this, is accountability. This is something that most women struggle with. Women these days never own up to their responsibility for anything. If she cheats on her husband, it's not his fault. It's not her fault for being a slut. It's his fault for not being attentive. If she's overweight, it's not her fault for not watching her diet and skipping the gym. She'll blame her genetics or her busy schedule. If a woman gets fired from her job, it's because her boss is a bitch and it has nothing to do with the fact that she sucked at her job and was always late and missed too many days. If a woman cannot be accountable to you for her behavior, she's got to go, guys. She's not going to cut it. Red pill aware men are quick to call a woman out on a bad behavior, like watch your tone, sit like a lady, stop being a bitch. We're not afraid to check a bitch in public or private. But if a woman is always giving you excuses as to why she's not behaving the way you've coached her and trained her to behave, then she's not accountable. She's going to make excuses for everything, including why she engages in behaviors conducive to cheating, which is why she's making excuses in the first place. So you'll ease up and give her the space she needs to cheat. I'll tell you this right now. I got no time for women who cannot verbally acknowledge that they're wrong, and men like you shouldn't either. What are your thoughts?
Couldn't agree more. It's a big headache. It's another stress in your life.
Yes.
And here's the thing. I blame guys for not holding women accountable because they're not going to be accountable. I'm letting you know the majority of women they're never wrong. They justify what they do, even cheating. They'll justify something. They'll bring up something you did 3 years ago, just to help pound home a point now. They're like, hey, well, you did this back in, like, I'm telling you guys, you got to be willing. Like, even if she comes home, here's another thing. You guys are like, you guys sit there and let your woman just fucking go in about her day, like her day at her job. You let her talk for like 30 minutes about her job. If you notice that she's repeating the same shit to you, you need to stop it. You need to say, hey, check this out. You keep telling me about this fucking problem. When are you going to do something about it? I don't want to hear about this anymore. Okay? Look, you've told me this 3 times. It's time to form a solution to this now. Right. I am going to give you a solution to this. You know how many times I've given my woman a solution to a problem that she didn't even know? She didn't even know how to form a solution to that. She went ahead and did it. I've helped her type out emails. Like, hey, you want to send an email to your boss? You're going to type this verbatim. Go. And then or even text messages. Hey, you don't know how to respond to that fucking crazy aunt of yours? All right, I'm sending the text then, and you're gonna fucking send it, and you're gonna back it up. And so here's the thing: it's the guy's fault. If she's not holding herself accountable, she's not going to. You have to do it. I mean, every chance you get. If you notice a woman has a repeated complaint.
Yes.
She's repeating a complaint.
Yes.
Whether it's about her friend, her job, whatever the case, you need to tell her, hey, I'm so fucking tired of that complaint. When you going to do something about it? Yep. You really need, and then you need to step in and say, since you don't know what to do, I'm taking over from here. Watch how fast she gets accountable if you take over.
There you go. There you go. Listen, I'll either come up with a solution or I'll give you a solution. Otherwise, shut the fuck up about it. You've talked about it long enough. Okay, let us go to Black Male Media. Black Male Media, you have a quality that you feel is important. Go ahead.
Hey, Donovan, thanks for having me on.
Of course.
Well, I was going to just mention that probably everything that falls under submission is probably the number one quality, just because even accountability, like I heard you guys going on about accountability and I couldn't agree more. And I think a large portion of that is once your woman stops holding herself accountable for actions that she does that makes you mad or you feel are disrespectful, you can kind of see that she's lost respect for you, because the reverence that she normally would have, like, if she respects you, you don't even have to hold her accountable. Like, she just knows, like, what you would think about what she's doing would affect her actions. So that's like a key indicator that your woman may be losing respect for you or shit testing you.
Okay.
If she's repeatedly doing the action just because you know she's losing respect.
I'm gonna go ahead and comment on that. Yeah, He's half right. He's half right. Here's the part of that too. She's getting too comfortable. It's not that she doesn't respect you. It's that your coaching is too consistent in one lane. Okay, so you're too consistent in one lane of coaching her. So she's getting comfortable there. So now you have to kind of derail it a little bit. It comes back to your coaching. If your woman is showing indications that she's not submitting to you, it comes, in my opinion, it falls back on your coaching. So she's getting too comfortable in that one area. She's getting lazy, perhaps. Maybe she feels too secure in that particular area. So then naturally, when someone feels secure, they become lazy. They become a little bit. Take a look at a boss at a job. Let's say they let you get away with drinking coffee on the floor. Now you're bringing chips out to the floor. Now you got fucking fried chicken on the floor. Oh, wow. So it's not that you disrespect the guy. It's that he allowed you to do the shit. So it comes back to the coaching. It may not be so much about disrespect. In a woman's mind, she may not be consciously thinking, oh, I don't respect him anymore.
Right.
And what it is she feels comfortable right now.
Your thoughts, Black Male Media?
Wow, I mean, that perspective I think is spot on. Yeah, they're definitely red flags, but I can definitely see. Yeah, women typically don't consciously think about disrespecting you. It's just an indicator
Right.
because when a woman has reverence for a man, even if he wouldn't raise his voice at her, his thoughts
Oh
of her
yes,
actions would affect what she's gonna do. You know what I mean? Like if she
absolutely.
would go to the club and her man's a preacher and she has high regard for him, she's like, oh, what would my man think about this? And maybe hesitant.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
here's another thing. It might be that you haven't checked her in a while and she's begging for it. So
Yep.
she's acting out just so you can check her and then throw her against the fucking wall and fuck the shit out of her. So maybe you haven't fucked her hard, YouTube chill, but maybe she's bored. And she's like, this motherfucker used to
Right.
check me. This dude used to fuck the shit out of me. This dude used to choke me and shit. YouTube chill, but not hurt her, but choke her. And you're not doing any of that right now. So she's like, I want that man back. Can I do something to act out to get that man back? So she may not be thinking it like consciously, but subconsciously she wants that man back. And maybe that man hasn't been around for a little bit.
Awesome perspective, man.
Good
Yeah.
stuff, man. Blackmail Media, I appreciate the call, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
that is a very interesting perspective. Is that, pardon me, that's a very interesting perspective because women, the only time a woman actually consciously disrespects you is when she's ready to be out the door.
She's ready to go. Yes.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But a lot of times women, when they disrespect you, for whatever reason, this hat is making my hair itchy, my head itchy. But when a woman disrespects you, just like you said, she does it on a very subconscious level. And it's funny because women can't really vocalize what they're feeling. This is why they act out. I'm bored. He hasn't checked me in a while. He hasn't pulled my hair in a while. And they're looking for just a quick swat on the ass, man. Josh Randall disavows $20 super chat, says, I will cover 4 viewers worth of super chats. Appreciate that. Ostrike,
Thank you.
$10 says EO agreed. He also says that, so Josh Randall says, I'm going to fly EO to Vegas and buy him drinks and a lap dance. What do you say to that?
Hey man, I'm all about money. Just send me money, man. But I appreciate you.
Very good. At Everett, $ Everett Overton to hit the Cash App. This is my last. This will be the last. And the phone lines are still open, guys. Won't be open for too much longer because we're about to wrap this up. This will be my last. My last ability that a woman absolutely has to have, and this is salvageability. Unless you meet a girl who was raised in a convent from birth, who was never exposed to the internet, never exposed to feminism, kept away from any and all media, and has never laid her eyes on a man in her life, every single woman you meet is going to be damaged to some degree. And I mean emotionally and psychologically damaged as a result of taking an abundance amount of cocks for an extended period of time, right? Anytime anyone talks about a damaged woman, it always relates to sex. Doesn't matter what happened in her life, whatever it was, it always manifests itself with slutty behavior. Grew up without a father, slut. Seen some fucked up shit as a kid, slut. Verbally abused by her mother, slut. Doesn't matter what it is a woman goes through as a kid. If it's bad in some way, shape, or form, she becomes a slut no matter what. It's one of the few behaviors. It's one of the very few behaviors a woman is capable of engaging in that has real consequences to her as a person. Now, if she's a slut, she's obviously taken a lot of dick. And the more dick a woman has taken, the more damaged she is. This is simple math. Even if she has never had a fucked up sexual experience in her life, if every time she had sex, it was a blissful lovemaking in silk sheets with the candles lit and violins playing in the background, doesn't matter. If a woman's ridden the carousel, she's damaged. Now, to what degree a woman is damaged depends upon, one of a few factors, and that's for another show. All of that said, even though most women are damaged to some degree, most of them can probably be relatively salvageable. They can be repaired to a degree to at least mimic or even resemble a woman who would make a decent significant other for an extended period of time, maybe. But, gentlemen, you've got to have a firm hand. You have to be, listen, you got to be steeped in red pill truth to tame a woman who's taken 100 cocks in her life. You have to, I'm telling you, you got to have dictator level leadership, draconian level reprimands, and you've got to have balls of fucking steel. And anything less than that, and your woman is going to walk all over you, as damaged women are prone to do. If she is damaged beyond repair, guys, she's not salvageable, okay? If she has genuinely been E-parred, meaning that she was forced to give her body against her will, she's not salvageable, guys. If she has ever been smashed by more than one guy at the same time, not salvageable. If she's engaged in an orgy, not salvageable. Women who have been involved in vile, deviant sexual acts cannot be salvaged, and attempting to salvage the unsalvageable is a fool's errand at best, emotional and financial suicide at worst. That is the last and final ability. EO, your thoughts?
You know, I always say that any guy that's got a woman that I was previously dealing with, he's fucked. Because the amount of things that I've done to that woman, not just to her mind, her body, her spirit. Now, it doesn't mean it's all bad things. Sure. It could be beautiful things.
Right.
Even a sexual encounter can be beautiful. Like it's so fucking intense that she could never forget it. Like she'll never forget it. And so you got to know this. And I'll throw it at men. I've known a lot of heroin addicts in my life. They're heroin addicts, man. Like once you taste heroin and you get addicted to heroin, it is very fucking hard to let go of heroin. It's either going to kill you or you got to go to jail. Like you're either going to jail and you'll somehow either smuggle it in there or something's going to happen. But it's so hard. It's so hard to get rid of something out of your system once it makes you feel so good. So you know, and that goes for men too. So I will tell you, I completely agree. When you said you got to be fucking a Russian dictator, yes, balls of steel. I mean, you're monitoring every single facet of the relationship, her life, your life, everything in between. Yeah, right. Then you got a shot. She also has to be like at a certain stage in her life where she's like, and I'm just gonna use this description, like soulfully dying.
Okay.
Yes. Like I've met women that told me, like, before I met you, honestly, although I looked good on the outside, I was soulfully dying. Yeah, and the fact that I met you and the man that you are, so multifaceted, and you can talk to me about spirituality. You can talk to me about the physical world. You put me on game when it comes to the streets. You put me on game when it comes to like basically I'm imprinting her about life. Okay, if you can imprint a woman in a way she's never ever even gotten close to being imprinted, yes, you got a great shot at salvaging her. Okay, but she's got to be at a place on her own before you meet her where she's like ready for change. Okay, like you can't take a woman who loves the streets and turn her, and try to take her to a beautiful place. Not going to happen. She's got to kind of have an itch and a desire for a transformation. She just doesn't know how to get there. Yes, she just doesn't know how to get there. But then she meets you, and you show her the way to getting there.
Wow, very, very well said. Listen, I'm convinced we're going to have to do a 23andMe because I think we're related in some way, shape, or form. Would not be surprised. Very, very good. Malika Mibane with the $10 super chat says, "Awesome game, gentlemen. These aren't just abilities a woman must have. These are standards, characteristics, and proper behavior that a woman must show and prove in order to be viable and worthy." Very good. Man, that's the comment of the night, man. Ice Dragon Kid says, "Thanks, guys, for making me a better leader and a better man. Rest in peace, Red Pill Mike." I don't know if you heard, but a big-time contributor, Red Pill Mike, his legal name is Wesley Fadley. He passed away on, it's still hard for me to talk about. He passed away on Wednesday from complications from the 91 DVOC. And so that's what he was referring to. Oh, by the way, I managed to send at the very last minute, a bouquet of flowers. Actually, I sent 2 bouquets of flowers out to out to the service that they had. Were you familiar at all with Red Pill Mike, or was that someone who? I
wasn't. I did see a broadcast you were doing, and I was unfamiliar with the man. But we get to know these people, these moderators, these contributors to our stations and our brand, and they're like family. Like I really mean this. Like they're like family. So my condolences to you and those that knew him. I didn't know him, but these guys that pop in, these moderators, they're like family. And,
they matter, man.
And
they matter. They really do, man. I just took it. It was shocking because he was only 46 years old, man. Yeah. I still cannot believe he's gone. But I appreciate the super chat. Rebel 5150 $10 says, "What are some minor things that you see women? What are some minor things that you see women do that can be salvageable?" What are your thoughts?
Minor things?
Yeah, he says, "What are some minor things that you see women do that can be salvageable?" I guess he's talking about habits, characteristics, etc.
I mean, again, she's got to be like a living, breathing, walking representation of you in most of the time. So if you don't drink, she can't drink. I mean, you can't be sitting there sober and she's putting away 2 bottles of wine. I mean, she's going to get ready to talk shit.
Right.
I mean, you got to know this. Like, a woman that drinks wine talks shit at the end. She's crying in the room and shit. Like, you can't have that. So lifestyles have to match up. Your life, she has to love your life. Okay, yes. She has to love the man you are and the life you live, and she has to want to live that with you. The minor things I would say is like, look, I don't watch. Let's say she likes to play video games on her tablet, but you don't. That's minor. Let her play her video game. Right. She's not hurting anybody. No, of course not. Let her go in the room and play her video game, okay? But, if she's addicted to the Kardashians, well, now you got a problem because she's internalizing and absorbing that bullshit information. Now you got to spend 2 hours deprogramming her.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah. So these things are important. Like, what is she absorbing? Who is she talking to? What is she watching? Right. What does she have interest in that you don't? Because at some point or another, that's going to manifest, and then now you have to spend crucial time that you don't have to deprogram something that she internalized and adhere to her. So 100%. I'm sorry, really everything matters.
I agree. Mm-hmm. I think what he's probably asking is, what are some habits, traits, and characteristics that women have that can make them salvageable? In other words,
I see.
Right, exactly. And I agree with your answer. I think that's the overarching point. If a woman is all of these things that we talked about, if she has all of these abilities, then yes, she can definitely be salvaged. For example, like a woman who's never been on a dating app that you know of, I suppose that could be salvageable. All right, very good. EO, tell the people where they can find you, man.
Yeah, real quick, I'll make this 20 seconds. I had one last one that I wanted to mention.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Go
ahead, one last one. No, she's got to be your biggest fan.
Oh, yes. Yep.
She's got to be a cheerleader for you. If she's not cheerleading for you and celebrating you every step of the way, like a milestone. Donovan just had one. I know Devin's a big part of the production team.
Absolutely.
So your win is her win. The two of you celebrate each other. She should have pom-poms and fucking, I love you, Donovan. You're the best man I've ever met. Your woman has to be your biggest supporter, more so than your mother.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Like more than your mother. She should way overshadow your mother. Like I really mean that. Your girl should treat you better than your mother ever treated you. I'm just being honest. Like a lot of men say like, oh, your mother's gonna, only a mother can treat you that way. Bullshit. If you're gonna pick a woman to marry or be in a long-term relationship, she better treat you better than any other person alive has treated you. So I want to say she's got to be your biggest supporter.
I like that, man. She's got to be your biggest supporter and biggest cheerleader. 100%. Okay, so yeah. Go ahead and tell the people where they can find you, man.
Yeah, good to be with you, Donovan. Good to be back with you. As always, thank everybody in the chat room for your contributions. This was a big broadcast. Notice we weren't negative. We were keeping it real about everything. And if you do these things that we mentioned, you're going to be in very good shape. I'm Coach EO. Just search Coach EO. You'll find me there. I have Killing the Simp series, which is really popular, Leading the Relationship. I'm starting Dress Like a Champion on Wednesday, which is going to be really cool. And so, come on aboard. We'd be happy to have you.
Very good, man. As always, EO, I think this is probably one of my favorite shows to do. because it really sort of gets down into the nitty gritty. Because when it comes down to it, man, don't get me wrong, man. Every guy wants to live the player life, but it's very difficult to do that these days. And even if a guy could, most guys just want to be in a relationship with one woman. Yes, having multiple girls is fun, but it would be disingenuous of any man, most men, to not admit that, hey, listen, man, being in a good solid relationship beats going chasing ass every day. So I think that's why this is important, and I think that we're providing men a service. So thank you again very, very much for your contribution, and I will see you next week, my friend.
You guys, thank you very much.
Awesome. That is Coach Everett Overton. Oops, wait a minute. I'm still here. I'm still here. Hang on, guys. There we are. There we go. That is Coach Everett Overton. As always, man, I'm gonna tell you what, dude. This is really, really becoming my my favorite show. EO and I have the kind of on-screen chemistry that me and Myron have. I remember when Myron and I do weights and dates, dude. The on-screen chemistry it's awesome. It really, really is. And so yeah, I'm thankful to him for giving up a couple of hours on a Saturday night to come over here and bless the mic. All right, guys. I am going to call it an evening. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm gonna crack open a bottle of my favorite wine, Agitator. I got some Agitator Red Blend. Have a couple of glasses of that. Devin and I are going to watch a horror movie, and then that is going to be that. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you to everyone who super chatted. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you next time.